Good morning, afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. So it's your girl Tuesday coming back with another banger for you. You know I got to come back with that knowledge and a little bit of Jesus juice on the side. Serve it up like a platter. So today I want to talk to the mothers and I want to talk to the fathers. I want to talk about standing up and being good parents for our children and learning how to listen to them, help them when they need us to help them, and be there for us, be there for them the best way that we can be, um, giving them the best version of ourselves. Because as parents, sometimes we make a lot of mistakes. Some of the fathers decide they don't want to be fathers, they rather not take on the responsibility. So we have to then turn around and be single parents. I was a former single parent of four sons, so what I'm saying today comes from experience. I had three babies' fathers, and they were in and they were out of their life, you know. But what they fail to realize is by them not stepping up, it causes our children to take it out in negative ways. It causes our children to be angry, depressed, stressed, you know, and the men don't realize that. And even for the men that are raising children single because the moms don't want to be there, you know, this is for y'all too, because me coming from a place where I didn't have my father in my life, you know, I said when I had my children that I didn't want that situation for them. But sometimes in life, we're dealt things where we just have children with the wrong people, the wrong men, the wrong women. You know, we think when they tell us that they're going to be there, they're going to stand by us. You know, we as human beings, we try to trust people and listen to what they say and hope that what they're saying to us is true when they say that they love us. But not in every case you're getting that. You know, a person can tell you what they think you want to hear. And that's wrong because you play with someone's emotions. You know, when a person begins to trust you and you break that trust, how can you regain that trust back? Sure, you can try to work on it to restore it, but it will never be the same. You know why? Because it was broken. It was a bond that came between the two of you that should have never been broken from day one. I just call it like I said, you know, and I'm not blaming anyone, but if you make a child with someone, then you need to step up and take the responsibility of owning that. Because to have a child grow up feeling like their parent didn't want them, they felt neglected, they felt like they weren't good enough, is so wrong. Because then you cause them to be angry, you cause them to be depressed, you cause them to want to have suicidal thoughts. See, we don't think of this stuff when we're parents or when we're in the boom boom room. We don't think of that. You think of that moment and that is it. But then when the responsibility comes, you can't handle it. It's wrong. Or you want to be in a relationship with a man or a woman, but as long as it's about them and not the children, then you're okay. How do you sleep at night? I know me, I couldn't sleep peacefully to know that I had children that I just decided that I'm gonna let them feel like they not wanted, they're not needed. I just had them, but I didn't have them. I would never do that to my sons. Every decision that I ever made for my children was always the best decision, but I chose the wrong men. And I forgave them. So don't take this as me being angry or bitter. No, it's a lesson to learn from somebody who's been there, from somebody who went through it. I'm trying to help those not go through it, not make the mistakes that I made, because I didn't have no one to come out and tell me. Everything I learned, I had to learn on my own. But I knew when I had my first son that I had to forget that life that I was living, and make every decision from that point on about my child. Was this something that my child can be proud of? Was this something that my child can be inspired by? Is this something that I can say my child can look up to me as? And if those questions come out to be no, then you know you got to rethink and reset your mind and change that mentality. Because at the end of the day, the kids didn't ask to be here. And this is for both men and women. It's time for you to step up and be mothers. It's time for you to step up and be fathers. It's time for you to step up and let these kids be able to grow up in a home where they have both parents. Because it's not a good feeling when you have one parent missing. Whether it's your mother or your father, either one that leaves, you affect that child. You cause things to happen in that child's life. And sometimes they don't know how to handle that. Sometimes they don't know how to push that reset button and rewind themselves back. Only thing they know that they was neglected. You abandoned them. You chose to walk away instead of stepping up, being a man or being a woman and handling your business and trying to teach your child to grow up to be the best that they can be, to show them that they are loved by both parents. I had my son when I was 17. I was 17 when I got pregnant. I was 18 when I had him. But see, I didn't have a childhood. I had to grow up fast. From the age of 12, it was like from the age of 12, I became an adult. I was no longer a child because of a lot of the things that I had to experience in my life. But I grew up fast because I always had that mindset of hanging with older people, people that can teach me something, that can show me the way. Even though the streets was my home at the time. When my son came into my life, my first child, that was my saving grace. Because if I did not have him, I don't know where Tuesday Inez could have been. And yes, my middle name is Inez, so that's why I said that. You know? We got to stop this. We have to stop this not wanting to hold on to responsibility, not wanting to step up and teach our children about love and stability, hope, empower them. Show them that they are worthy and that they are able and capable to have anything in their life. I had 4 sons, and it hurt me to see that their fathers didn't want to step up and be there for them. I didn't have to go to a court when I made them, so why should I have to go to a court to make them take care of them, make them step up and take on the responsibility? But they always made it about me. And the one thing I never did, I never talked negative, even though I felt it on the inside for them. I never told my children anything negative about their fathers because I didn't want them to have that mindset, oh, my mom is causing me to think this way. No, I always gave my children a choice to make whether they want their dad in their life or they don't. Because I never wanted to take that from them. And I'm not blaming my kids' fathers. They already know I forgave them. But in order for me to tell my life, they were a part of that. So I have to speak on that. Even to this day, they still try to make it about me. But I tell them, never make it about me. Because at the end of the day, you owe me nothing. But you owe your children the fact that they need to grow up and be prosperous men, learn how to be a king, so that when they have children, they know how to break that cycle of feeling abandoned, break that cycle of feeling neglected, break that cycle of feeling like my parents don't want me. Right now, I have grandchildren. I don't want my grandchildren growing up feeling like they weren't wanted, they weren't loved, they weren't needed. Do you know what that does to a child when a child feels that way? Take it from a child that's been there. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good look. Sorry, just gonna say it. Sometimes it makes us want to hate our parents because of it. Because you always have them answers. Why? What did I do? Why wasn't I good enough? Or they go and they have children with other women, which makes the whole matter even worse. Because then you feel like, well, you took care of their children, but you didn't take care of mine. You didn't take care of the ones you created with me. But I was good enough for you to sleep with me, though. But I wasn't good enough for you to step up as a man or step up as a woman. That's wrong. It's selfish and it's unhuman. Just gonna call it like I see it, because that's the only way I know how to be. I didn't come on here to be cute. I came on here to speak truth, to drop knowledge, to drop some Jesus juice. And that's what I'm gonna do. I want to help others. This is what I was put on this world to do. So sometime in helping others, it's not going to come pretty. It's not going to come sweet. It's not going to come the way you want it, but it's going to come with some serious knowledge for you to hold on to, for you to think about when you lay down that night on that pillow. Stop abandoning these children. Stop causing these children to feel like they ain't good enough. Because if they was good enough to be in that boom boom room, they should be good enough for you to step up and say, I'm going to be a man. I'm going to be a woman. Put down them baby dolls and little toys and trucks and pick up them babies and teach them how to be kings, how to be queens. This world deals with this every single day. Why? Why is what I want to know. See, I know the answer already. I see the mistakes that I made in my life. But I know moving forward now what not to do. And that was all through the grace of God that gave me the power, the ability to do it, to see it and feel it and know it. And I thank him for that. Because it was his grace and mercy that he dropped down on me to show me that